So school is great for many things like making friends and having fun and memorizing the quadratic formula.
Turn to page 394.
But it fails to prepare us for the real world, where we've got to do things like manage our finances and deal with annoying managers and figure out what the hell to actually do with our lives. So after interviewing a huge range of ridiculously successful people on my podcast, from academics to multimillionaire entrepreneurs to YouTubers to life coaches, I've learned so many lessons that I wish we were taught in school. And so in this video, we're gonna go through 7 of my personal favorites. First lesson comes from Tim Armu, who is an entrepreneur here in the UK, and he sold his first company for several tens of millions of dollars at the age of 27.
One of the things that I really enjoyed working with, high performing people is that they just generally have a bias towards action. Like they know that they can try several things and maybe quite a few of them would flop, but they're not concerned with that. They're just concerned with taking as many shots on goal.
So the thing school teaches us is to be very risk averse. Because of the system of grading and assignments, we put in a lot of effort and then we hand it in and then we get a grade back. And often that grading system can lead to a lot of perfectionism and a lot of anxiety, especially when leaderboards and rankings and stuff are involved. When we get an assignment at school, there's usually a deadline and there are no prizes for getting in the thing early or for doing twice as many or 10 times as many things. All that matters is just that one piece of packaging, that little thing that you hand to the teacher and then they grade you. And that's just not how things work in the real world. In the real world, if you want to succeed, a lot of it is about just doing lots and lots and lots of the thing that you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to make a career in almost any creative field, it's way more important that you try and get lots of clients and get lots of practice in than you spend absolutely ages trying to hone and perfect that one specific thing. Definitely one of the characteristics of the most successful people I have ever met and interviewed through the podcast or anything else is just that they have this bias towards action. They spend a lot less time overthinking doing the thing and a lot more time actually doing the thing. And one of the lessons that I've really learned over the last 6 years of growing this YouTube channel is that action is really the foundation and overthinking can be sprinkled on top of it. It's something I say to my students in my part-time YouTuber Academy, that you're allowed to overthink your niche or whatever, your strategy, all you like, as long as you are taking action. Because if you're taking the action, then overthinking helps. But if you're trying to do all of the strategy stuff and trying to think a lot before you even do anything at all, then you're not really gonna get anywhere. And there's a nice quote that I often think about, which is that it's a lot easier to steer a moving ship than a stationary ship. So if you right now are struggling with something where you are staying stationary and you're letting overthinking paralyze you from taking action, recognize that it's way easier to change course once you've already started moving, so have that bias towards action. Lesson number 2 comes from Alex Hormozi, who is another entrepreneur with a net worth of over $100 million, for whatever that's worth, and this is what he had to say.